You know, I guess the gist of my American plight is that people don't take it seriously when you respond to injustice in a way that you have principle and honor and integrity and say, okay, our forefathers designed our nation so these things won't happen. And because these things happen, we have a justice system that's established on our forefathers' hard work. And when that doesn't flow right and injustice occurs, our forefathers died for that principle, and people take it for granted. And people want to look at me for my responses rather than the action taken, that actual laws and crimes have been committed to victimize somebody, in this case me. So, like, at the time our forefathers were fighting for freedom and liberty and justice, I guess there were people that says, oh, they should just let it go because the redcoats are too much and they've already beaten the crap out of us and pillaged and violated our women and children too, so just let it go. And they risk their lives anyway. And here we are today. And I feel it's a responsibility that when injustice is clear cut and dry, and there's a criminal that's getting away with something, somebody that actually went above and beyond past accepting or having the chance of saying, okay, I made a mistake. They held that stance of theirs and they pushed the knife in more of injustice. And, if our forefathers didn't fight for that and put their lives on the line, and it's not fair to say, okay, I deserve to die or have life trouble because someone did something unjust and they're getting away with it, where someone like myself or anybody else who would have did it would have been punished and have jail or court problems and have a profile. But instead, the problem is there's a profile for me based on a false record of allegations of a 911 call, and that is unjust. There literally is a statute because a victim was created for that reason. There's a statute to say you're not allowed to do that, and he's getting away with it. And I'm still living my life, and I don't feel like I'm bringing problems onto myself because I didn't that day when I went to the bank. Like every other American that's working, that wants to try and enrich their lives and grow and do the right thing. I didn't do anything wrong, and I was punished for it based on lies and favoritism. And now I am being shunned and, in a way, condemned innocently because of people's programming. And that's the problem. And that's why I have a political fuel. And once I feel satisfied, like I get mine in, so people know that I have a reputation, that don't push me around and take advantage and call 911 and allow people to harass me and threaten me with jail and this and that. I mean, that's serious to me. That goes against this. So I don't feel wrong, and I don't feel like the energy is as great at a cost as it was, last month, last year. And no, I'm not going to forget, because there's crimes that have been committed, even library books that have been returned 20 years later or found out, and people lose their house over, like, okay, a library book that's been missing for 20 years that they didn't return. So why is a 911 call rendered less because I got long hair in a Winnebago in a town that I moved in that nobody really knew me? So let's just finger the guy and drop the hammer on him. That's un-American to me, and that's that. I feel I am in good alignment with our forefathers and what the premise of our nation and context and ideals of America is and are. And I don't feel wrong for feeling like this. And I know that somewhere somebody with integrity on a level that I can understand, that understands me, that understands the Pledge of Allegiance and all those things to the hilt, will respect that and say, I did the right thing, because there's a lot of people that are paying for stuff and consequences that they shouldn't. And I want to go on and live my life. I don't want to have the same thing reoccurring again. So that's why it has to be addressed. And things have to be arranged to sanctify me for not committing a crime and suffering injustice. So therefore that invalidates pretty much all presentations in the future in any fucking 50 states. in any county, in any city, because I am on record as fighting for righteousness and justice and truth when I was successful in Florida, and I'm not allowed to be successful in Ashboro, so I feel pushed around and threatened. And it's like, okay, I have to live my life stigmatized, and it's not fair knowing that anybody could just call 911 on you and then you have problems, but because they don't see it and you don't have a physical injury, you're not relevant and you didn't suffer, so fuck you. It's basically what they're saying. And this is why Kid Rock is a suck ass bitch too, because he never addresses this shit. And for people to get relief, his idea is going to concerts, spending money, risking their lives, getting drunk, and then coming home with a DUI. Really, dude? You're a sour representation. This is why I have vigilance on my channel. It really is. I would rather do art and stuff like that, but what gets views is stuff like this because it's real, and so is our America. The bright light of justice shall be in my life soon to vindicate me from the false accusations and crap against me, and oh well, what the heck. Psalm 55.